Hey guys, great to be back. My name is Filip. We run an early stage VC based in Berlin. But today we're not going to speak about early stage, we're actually going to speak about growth. So we have 4 exciting entrepreneurs to tell us their story. And first, I'd like to welcome Roy Pereira from Zoom.ai. Roy, come up here and present your company.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name's Roy Pereira. I'm the CEO and founder of Zoom.ai. And what we're doing is enhancing the experience of all employees in the workplace. Because there's a problem today. Our workplaces are old. They have old technologies, old processes. But our workers are not old. They're young, they're mobile, they're tech savvy, and they want to work differently. They want to work like they play outside of work. And that's not happening today with today's technology. And what's going on is that there's a lack of support infrastructure inside of the company to make that happen. There's too much information, too many places to go, too many apps. What we're doing is modernizing that experience. We are the new middleware inside of the enterprise. We're the new enterprise user interface, using chat and also tying into the tech stacks that we currently see, both new and old tech stacks, not just one, but all of them. We've built an integration into 16 different chat platforms. Chat is where most of our employees want to work in. And we're automating a lot of the redundant, low-value tasks that all of our employees have to do on a daily basis. You can see some of the skills that we've taught our AI, meeting, but also information gathering. And our system is 100% AI. There's no humans at all. And so we can charge a very low amount. We've raised $2.1 million in a seed round earlier in the spring. We're actually raising an $8 million A round in Q1 of next year. We've won a ton of awards so far. We're targeting the enterprise, large multinationals, all the way down to mid-market enterprise. And one of our best partners is Microsoft, because they obviously want to own the enterprise. And they're working with us to close accounts, but also to integrate into their tech stacks. Thank you.
Great. Thanks, Roy. Next on stage, we have Miguel, Valdes, Faura. I hope I pronounced that right. From BonitaSoft.
I don't know if you can hear me. Can you hear me? OK, here we go. So Bonita, in a nutshell, basically we like to work with innovative development teams around the world to help them deliver better user experiences to both customers and employees. As you can see here from the logos, we work with pretty good companies around the world. So and I think that part of the growth of the company, if I manage to get it right. Oh. I'm trying all the buttons here. OK? So one of the 2 key things that probably help us to grow the company that fast was, number 1, we have been focusing on a strategic projects. So we like to work with our customers on projects that are going to increase the revenue, increase the customer satisfaction, and bring innovation faster, rather than just operational projects that are more oriented to cost savings. I'm going to try again. Something is not going as expected here. So second major thing is the business model. So we are an open source provider. So basically, we have an open source version that we try to disseminate worldwide really fast. And then I don't have the screen anymore. Man. I don't know what's going on.
Try and point, just point the thing in this direction. I don't know. Yes.
Let me try to do it, yeah? If you can move over. Oh, and it's this one. So it's that way? OK. That's going better. OK, so second major differentiator is business model. So we basically disseminate the solution in open source, worldwide, different languages. And from that, we select the customers that are in our target, and we try to convert them. So today we have something like 300 customers. The majority of the customers are coming internationally. So even if the company is headquartered in France, the majority of the business is coming overseas, actually from the US, in which we also have offices. We work with really large organizations. Around 30 of the largest 300 organizations in the world are already customers of us. And of course, it's always great to have different recognitions from the market in terms of the product and the company. The most recent one is we were included in the Gartner Magic Quadrant from our market. And last but not least, important to don't work alone and to build a great ecosystem of partners. That's, for me, the only way to scale a company in the enterprise business. That's what we've been doing for a while. So building relationships with partners that can help us with customers' implementation. Before I complete the presentation, so just probably mention what you can achieve with the platform. So this is basically what you can build with Bonita. We call it living apps. So apps that are enterprise-grade apps that developers can build by separating different levels of the application, so interfaces, business data, from the business process and operations. And the magic behind that is like those things are completely separated, so development teams can get more productive, they can continuously deliver, and they can make even changes on the fly. So that's the maintainability and evolutivity of the kind of application that you can build with Bonita. And that's all. Sorry for all those issues with the projector. Thank you.
Thank you. Great. So next on stage, we have Christian Zoli, co-founder and VP product of Beaconforce.
Hi, everyone. So our idea started from the problem. And the problem is that management is broken. And this not come as a surprise to anyone. Management has been around since when Ford was building the first cars more than 100 years ago, and almost nothing changes since then. While at the same time, science has made huge leap forwards in understanding how we behave, why we take decisions, and the whys of our actions, what really motivates us. And the business world has mostly ignored all of these discoveries. What we did was collect this knowledge into a tool. Our platform collects data on a daily basis from people inside companies and crunches it, giving visibility to management and giving a set of recommendations that the manager can take in order to improve and solve problems actually before they become problems. So with this engine in mind, we went on the market, and we have been on the market for 5 months now. This, okay. It has some, okay. We have been on the market for 5 months now. Each month, we registered a growth of 50% of the previous months, and all of this without any marketing. We still haven't spent $1 and €1 in marketing. For us, the reasons for this growth has been 3. The first is a problem. We knew we hit the good problem here 1 year ago. We were here as alpha, just back there 1 year ago, with just a couple of slides and very good intentions. And the response, the answer from the market had been incredible. Between investors, potential partner, and clients, we knew then that we hit the right problem. The second reason has been the partners and the clients, because we were ready to start some early adoption projects, but we have been contacted, to our surprise, but some big company on a global level. Now, between our clients, there are names such as PwC, Ogilvy, and IKEA. And having to say no to some other client because they were not the right fit for us. Their visions and their values were not what we were looking for. For a startup, it's been a hard choice, but now that choice is paying up. And we can build our product together with our clients and partners. Because the product is the third reason, but really it's the consequence of the first 2. Because we had our idea in mind, but the idea was developed together with our client by filtering their feedback and by letting the product grow with them and for them. So there are still a lot of things that we want to do in our pipeline, and we are looking forward to see what's happening. Last year we were here as alpha, this year we are here as partners, and we can't wait to find out what's in for the next year, and we're looking forward to it. Thank you.
Great. Thanks, Christian. Next, and last but not least, we have Ruggero Gramatica from Yewno.
Thank you very much, and good afternoon. Yewno is a Silicon Valley-based startup that just has been created out of a university project about 2.5 years ago. And very simply, what is the problem we're trying to tackle? Information is not knowledge, as simple as that. The last 50 years have been dominated and ruled by the information economy. So pretty much everything was about to produce information, making information available. Doesn't matter whether we're public or private databases. And even with the advent of internet 20 years ago, information is even more so available. Quite fragmented, as we know, quite dispersed, but information is a sort of commodity. We can access whether or not you pay for it, but you can get information. Well, unfortunately, this is not what we are aiming to do, right? We want to build knowledge and eventually wisdom. And everyone agrees that we entered now into the knowledge economy, so shifting from the information economy towards the knowledge economy. And that actually is possible because the last few years have been shown a shift, thanks to new technology, distributed parallel computing, to artificial intelligence, or whatever it means, but something that can really make easier extracting information from information and building knowledge. And what are the instruments that we are playing with? So we built this analytical framework based on AI that leveraged machine learning, which is a big name, but most importantly, tools that can really deal with hybrid data, unstructured data, text, number, images, and build behind the scene this massive cloud of interconnected concept. So once we have built this cloud with interconnected concept, then guess what? We can really leverage a new algorithm to devise what is called an inference. An inference is exactly how the human brain put things together in perspective and create a thought. So we have building verticals on top of this technology. We're ingesting a huge amount of information that we'll see in a minute, but education, publishing, finance, creating really financial indices and data, and decision support system, biomedical, life science, even intelligence. Growth for the last basically 3 years now, we are approaching 2018. What is the growth? The growth is about building a team, securing the funding, and we have raised between the seed round A and A plus about $80 million. We opened office in, of course, Silicon Valley where we started, but we have presence in London and in New York. And the beauty of when you build a team that is scalable and actually aim at growth is that you wanted to do with a different kind of multicultural team, and we actually have people from 10 countries. Because of the nature of our business, growth means also ingesting data, which is content. So we are basically almost reaching 200 million sources that we are processing almost on a daily basis. And consequently, we started, because of the verticals, selling to customers in all the verticals. Finally, growth is about growing the platform, and platform means many things, from the hardware, infrastructure, and people.
Great. Thanks, Ruggiero. So let's move on to our short panel. We don't have a lot of time, but I wanted to ask you a few questions. And maybe let's start with one where you guys are always telling the positive news to the audience, but of course we all know entrepreneurship is not only positive. So what has been the biggest challenge in getting to where you are today with your companies? And maybe Roy, you want to start?
I think it's always hard at the beginning. Usually when you have a crazy idea, it's so far ahead of its time that everyone that you talk to, even your friends, will tell you that is bullshit and you shouldn't waste your time on it. And so that's always hard to say, no, I believe in myself, I believe in this vision, and I'm just going to tell everybody to bugger off and I'm going to do it. And I may fail, but that's okay.
Cool.
Yeah, I think without any doubt is people, making sure that you can hire the right people to surround you, especially when you're growing internationally. It's usually really hard for a company in Europe to then go to the US and right away hire the right team. So it's always about timing, finding the right guys that can scale with the company, and especially that are going to be good when you're going to face some hard times. When everything is smooth and you're raising money, life is good. When you're facing some difficulties, if you don't have the right people around you, it's really hard. So that will be my my first thought.
And how did you manage that? How were you able to find the people that really drive the success of your business?
Yeah, so I think it's two things, like be really tough in terms of the interview process, because sometimes when you need to hire a lot of people because you have raised a lot of money, you try to speed up and say like, okay, I need people, so it's better to hire okay people than just not hire, and that's always a bad choice. So it's better to do not hire at all than to hire bad. So it's like make your interview process more difficult. And then, of course, it's about relationships. The best candidates that we ever found in the last 7 years at BonitaSoft is like people that we know, people that can recommend. I'm not. There is no magic, thing. But let's make sure that you are really strong and in your interview process.
And for you, Christian?
Well, for us, the biggest challenge has been, for sure, keeping up with the pace. Because we had our MVP ready, we had selected a few clients, and we were thinking to start with them, but then some other clients without any marketing reached for us, like global companies, and we knew the product wasn't ready, we knew we weren't ready, but we decided to jump anyway, because this occasion happens only once, and we decided to try it and to run, and to keep up with the speed.
Yeah.
My answer actually would be a blend of what my fellow panelists actually just said. Definitely team. Yeah, I agree with Miguel. Team, it's about talent, and it's about passion of the project, and really marrying the project and actually create and bring the enthusiasm. And of course, the growth implies that you need to make some choice in order to keep up with the acceleration of your business, remain focused, but at the same time, do not lose opportunity.
Yeah. All right, so we're reaching the end of our panel, but I wanted to give you guys all the chance to really tell the audience, what are you looking for here at Web Summit? What is it? Is it funding? You raised 60 million already. You raised 2. I don't know about you guys, but is it fundraising? Is it contacts? Is it sales? Is it partnerships? Why you're here? If you go home at the end of the week, what would you say? When will Web Summit have been a success for you guys?
Should I start?
Yes.
I think that, I find quite interesting when I speak to people and actually highlighting that the transformation of information into knowledge is really coming and is happening now. And everyone realize it, but they did not really get in the first place. So what I actually want to take from the Web Summit is that people would understand we enter into the knowledge economy and the world will be different.
So for us, it's for sure fundings, because there are so many things that we know we will have to make. We don't know just how fast we will go there. So as faster we can grow, even internationally, and the faster we can bring to the market a product that we have in mind and we want to implement.
On my side, I'm not looking for funding because I forgot to mention, but we already raised 28 million euros, so we in 4 rounds of fundings. Of course, it's my job to always look for funding opportunities, but that's not my primary goal here. It's more like connect with people. Also, what I like about the conference, you can see some of the market trends by some of the giants, but also discuss with new young entrepreneurs and exchange ideas. I was participating this morning in the mentoring sessions, for example. So it's it's good to challenge yourself a little bit and see how you compare with the market trends, discuss with new people, potentially establish new partnerships. That will be my #1 priority, partnership.
All right. So we're primarily here for customers. We're very strong in the North American market, Canada, the US, but not so much Europe. And we have a multilingual platform that understands everyone's around the world, their time zones and so forth. So we feel that Europe would be a great place for us. And even at this summit in the last 2 days, we've met a great amount of potential customers.
All right, great. Well, thanks everybody for being here. It was fun to have you on stage. Enjoy the rest of Web Summit, and we'll be back soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.